This is Tony Mary, Practice Director with ETHOSystems, and I'm being joined today by Mr. Alex Graham with Sage. He's going to be presenting the Sage Construction Management solution for you today, and we're going to get right into it, but a couple items of housekeeping before we start. We do have everybody muted, so we have a clean listening experience as well as an audio experience. You will be receiving a link for the recording after it is posted. Please, in your tab, if you're using the web-based version or the desktop version, you should be able to see a questions section, not the chat, but the questions section. It might be under your view. If not, please do find the means to post questions during the session. We will try to keep it as interactive as we can in that manner. And please do maximize your screen to full width so you can take in everything that Alex is going to be showing you today. So with that, I appreciate everybody's time and attention. And Alex, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tony, and thanks for everyone for joining today. As you mentioned, my name is Alex Graham. I am the with Sage team for the construction management sales. So just wanted to introduce the product to everyone today. A little bit of a background. So Sage Construction Management is formerly known as Correspondence, which is a solution, cloud-based project management solution that has been in the market for a long time, and we're happy to have acquired that back late last year and adding it to our Sage suite of products. And with that, I'm just going to begin with a little bit of a product overview. So Sage Construction Management, as I mentioned, is a cloud-based solution with multiple avenues for data to flow with seamless updates from a variety of sources. These will include the Sage Construction Management browser solution, accessible from any web browser, the Sage CM mobile app for access from the field using either smartphone or tablet on Android and iOS devices. And then finally, the Team Link portal, which will allow collaboration with outside stakeholders, which I'll get into in a little bit more detail in a moment. And then also we have our linked accounting solutions, which will allow data to feed from Sage Construction Management into the linked accounting system and vice versa. Going into a little bit more detail here, we have kind of three phases of the work that Sage Construction Management is going to aim to have an impact on, beginning with that pre-construction, which will allow users to monitor and track job opportunities, including all related estimating activities. Next, the project management operations side, which is going to connect office and field project teams with one easy-to-use solution, as well as the financial insight or project financials, which is going to allow our users to stay on top of that financial data with real-time updates from the field or office with the aim to improve job profitability. Next, the mobile app, as I mentioned, allows for anytime access from the field to track time, document records such as daily logs or project photos, and receive alerts on upcoming items. The field staff are really going to be able to access most facets of the project directly from their mobile app. And as we get into the demonstration, I will show off the mobile app a little bit later here. Next, as I mentioned, is the Team Link portal. So what this is a tool that allows for collaborations with outside stakeholders on a project, such as project owners, architects, subcontractors, suppliers. Our subscribers are able to invite as many external collaborators as necessary, and there's no additional charge for any of these users. Those users are able to update and respond to records and transactions from the Team Link portal, and then all that information is going to flow back into Sage Construction Management. All right, and then next we have the accounting links. So Sage Construction Management is a standalone solution, but it does allow for that accounting link to allow for consistency and to kind of eliminate some of that need for double data entry. Currently, we'll have integrations with Sage Intacct Construction, Sage 50 Canada, as well as QuickBooks. And we are currently underway with the development for Sage 100 contractor integrations, as well as integrations with Sage 300 CRE. Just to give you an idea of what that integration is going to look like. So here's a chart that kind of shows the flow of information between the accounting system and Sage Construction Management. Beginning with that contact management portion, there will be a sync at this stage. So any updates made on either side would update within both systems to your company's vendors, employees, and then you'll have the ability to post project and project related information such as approved contracts, cost budgets, change orders, as well as AP and AR transactions, so prime invoices, subcontracts, SCOs, etc. And then what Sage CM is going to pull back is going to be summary of that payment information. So when payments are made, we're going to pull back those summaries, including the AR, AP payments, as well as job to date costs. All right, and then with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the solution here. So coming to the home screen here, when you first log in, you'll come to the home screen where we'll see our alerts. So we can also filter for anything past due. You'll see that we'll have green hyperlink items throughout the system where you can easily drill down into those items using that link. We'll also have a expandable main menu here on the left side where I can easily navigate to our various modules within the solution. We also do have a couple additional tabs at the top. So Sage Construction Management will have a workflow feature. So when you're setting up rules for various records, such as purchase orders in this example, those will automatically flow to the user that's set as the approver. That approver can then come in, make a selection from this page, drill down into the record, and then see other pending items. We also do have an e-sign feature. So as we go through the demonstration, we'll see that we can email out records such as contracts, estimate proposals, invoices, and all of those records can be either emailed out or we can initiate an e-sign process using a linked DocuSign account. All of those documents would then be sent out with a secure link for that user or external team member to go ahead and sign off securely using DocuSign. All of those pending and approved records would be stored here. Up at the top, I have a couple of quick access features to note. We'll have a global search function, a quick add feature to easily jump into various records and create new from this page. We'll also have an expanded alerts calendar. So if we wanted to view anything upcoming and a calendar set up, we can go ahead and pull that up to view anything that's coming up. We also have the time entry feature here where I can log time either as a single employee or for a crew. We can easily tag our project, prime contract, and cost code, and then go ahead and enter our time. It'll track breaks, allow you to switch cost codes throughout the day, and then add comments if needed. Also, a couple other features here. So the little gear icon up at the top will open up our settings menu. Just wanted to kind of touch on a few things here. Under our company settings, this is going to be a place where you can really customize a lot of the features to fit what your company needs. Starting with the security roles, as we add users into the system, we can apply custom security roles for each user to really customize what those users are going to have access to. You can see here, if I open one up, there'll be a list of all of our modules with all the various features that I can check off exactly what that user should or we want them to have access to. One other thing to note here is within the company settings, we can store our list of cost codes, whether we brought that over from our linked accounting system, such as Sage Intacct, or imported from Excel. We have some standardized cost code sets within our knowledge base, but you can also import any cost code set right from a Excel template. Speaking of templates, we'll have a lot of various template reports that we can include in the system, such as scope of work, quality control checklists, estimate markups. Detail report templates is a big one. As we go through the presentation, you'll see that we can take all the data we've entered into a contract or invoice and pull that into a template to then email out. I will have some default templates that are out of the box available to everybody, but just keep in mind that those can all be customized. So we use a Microsoft Word editing tool for custom report templates. So if you have a specific format for your contracts, your subcontracts, invoices, we can upload that template in here, and then all the data that we've entered within the record would then pull into our custom template to be used to send out for signature. All right, and then with that, I'm just gonna come back to our homepage here and a couple other setup items before I kind of get into the pre-construction and then project management stuff. We have our contact management module here where we can import all of our customers, vendors, employees from our accounting system or by importing from Excel. This will keep a log of all of your contacts. Each company would have their own profile, which will include all the various contacts as well as any license and insurance information. You would receive notifications if there's any changes, any expirations on any of that. And we also have the ability to add link files or set custom classifications for sorting. Next, we'll have the internal cost database. So within Sage Construction Management, we will be able to set up an internal cost database for use in estimating or creating our schedule of values. We'll store all of our equipment, labor, work, and material items, as well as have the ability to set up crews and assemblies. If I just open up here a equipment item, for example, we'll see a profile for that item where we can set our rates on each item. We'll also have the ability to set location and project specific rates. And then within the equipment, we'll also have the ability to track service and repair history, spare parts, stuff like that. All right, and then with that, I'm gonna kind of first begin with that pre-construction portion that I mentioned on my slides here. So Sage Construction Management will have a leads module where we can use this to track bid opportunities or projects that maybe have not yet been awarded. We'll be able to see upcoming leads in a calendar view, last quarter analysis. We'll have some analytics features that we can use to track win rates on those opportunities. And then if I go ahead and open up a lead here, we'll see that we'll come to a lead homepage. So this is going to be the landing page for this specific lead that we've set up. We'll have our various prospect information, and then here at the bottom, our list of landing pages on all the various modules within the lead. Going to take this moment to highlight the pre-construction portion down here at the bottom. Under the invitation to bid feature, we'll be able to set up a invitation to bid to solicit pricing from our vendors. I can add all of my linked files, such as our drawings log and specifications, and then add vendors either from contact management or by adding new, and then go ahead and send out invitations for them to respond. I can go ahead and select all or just select a specific vendor and then send out the invitation. It'll ask us if we would like to use an email template, and then I can come in and set up exactly what we want to send out. So it'll pull in all of those link files. I can add additional recipients, upload attachments, and then I'll see a preview of that email that's going to go ahead and be sent out. And then what that would look like here from the vendor's perspective is they would receive an email with a link directly to that record. So in this case, I've received the invitation to bid. This is going to be my sample vendor profile, but just wanted to highlight that the invitation to bid is going to pull in all of those link files so I can go ahead and review all of that information. There'll be some messaging features. So if I wanted to send a message, or if the user or subscriber wanted to add general messages to the vendors, we can go ahead and use those tools. And then as the vendor, I can go ahead and select a response from the drop-down menu here. And then that's going to go ahead and update within our browser solution. Up at the top, there's a little breadcrumb trail that I can use to just navigate back, and we'll see that that sample profile that I've added is now updated the response to bidding. From this overview tab here, I can track various information such as if our vendors have accessed the TeamLink portal, what their responses are, any insurance information, so you can kind of track where we're at on that invitation. All right, and then next I'm going to navigate back to the lead homepage and then over into our estimates field. So within Sage Construction Management, we'll have multiple ways that we can set up estimates, either by creating manually within the system, importing from Excel. We can also copy sections from other estimates. So if I open up my sample estimate here, we'll see some property details. So the prospect information, my selected list of cost codes, as well as the selected database. We'll have the ability to set location information on those location rates, and then enable locations if we wanted to break out that estimate into locations such as building 1, building 2, etc. And then if I go ahead and just hit view estimate here, this is where we'll really be able to build out the estimate. So as I mentioned, there will be multiple ways that we can go ahead and add new cost codes or new estimate items into this field here. We'll also have that locations tab here if we wanted to break that up. And then if I select the items page, we'll see that in a little bit more detail here at the line item level. I can filter this information in a variety of ways, including cost resource. These can be edited at any time. So if I wanted to come in here, make any changes, add comments, scope of work, I can go ahead and add that at any time. We'll also be able to set up allowance packages at this stage if I wanted to do so on the allowance package feature here. And then next, we'll also have a bid management tool similar to the invitation to bid. We can go ahead and solicit pricing on a specific package from our vendors. So if I open up a sample here, we'll see that we've created a bid package. We can go ahead and add our items to that package and which vendors we wanted to solicit interest from, and then go ahead and send out that invitation for them to go ahead and respond. So once they get that email, they would be able to input their pricing, and then on our side, we'd be able to compare side by side and award that package to whichever vendor we'd like. once that's awarded, that's going to go ahead and update within the estimate, and we can track all that information right from this page. Next, we have a global markups tool, so we can add markups to the estimate either as separate line items or cascaded throughout the estimate. We can pull this information from our templates as well, so we can easily track the various markups that we wanted to add to each estimate. Same thing with scope of work. So if I wanted to add a template for my scope, I can go ahead and just import that scope template. It's going to pull into each field. I can also then come in, copy paste, make any changes or add any additional informations within all of these fields here. Once all that is completed, we'll have an estimate summary page where I can send out my proposal. There'll be a breakdown of the cost per cell total, as well as a breakdown by resource, so I can really verify all that information is where we want it to be, everything looks correct, and then I can go ahead and email out my proposal. The proposal will have various formatting options, so if you wanted to change the level of detail that proposal is going to be selected in, you wanted to maybe add your custom template for proposals. In this example, I'm just going to use our default template here and kind of show a preview of that item within the PDF. Sorry about that. All right. So it's going to take all the information that we've inputted into the estimate and pull into our selected template, in this case, that default template, all the prospect information, all the scope of work that we've included, as well as the estimate details here, whether that is going to be formatted by cost code, division, major, minor, and then there'll be a place to go ahead and sign off here at the bottom. All right, so that's going to cover the estimating portion. So next I'm going to jump over into the project management operations side. So under the projects module, we'll be able to track all of our active projects. When you're creating a new project, we can convert that lead information over into a new project. All the information that we've already built out within the lead would then convert over into an active project. And if I select my list of active projects here, I can see a card style view of all of my active projects. And if I drill down onto one, we'll come to that home page, similar to the lead stage. We'll really have a landing page where I can access all facets of the project from one page. Scrolling down here, we'll see the various module landing pages that we have. Kind of have the general information here on the left-hand side, including that pre-construction information, financial piece here in the middle with that contract admin and procurement items. And then on the right-hand side, we'll have all of our operational items, so time and expense, correspondence, documentation, scheduling, etc. So I wanted to kind of go through all of these modules briefly here, but first just wanted to make note here, we'll have the project directory on the left-hand side. So when you're starting off your project, we can add customers, companies that we're going to be collaborating with to the project directory and invite them out to the TeamLink portal. So earlier on, I showed an example of the invitation to bid. There's kind of two ways that we can collaborate with our companies on the project. First off is just emailing out a specific record. They would then receive an email with a link directly to that record. Second option would be to actually invite them to the portal. So they would have a view similar to our browser solution, which I will go ahead and pull this over now. So from the vendor's perspective, once I have invited them to the TeamLink portal, they will have access to this portal where they can view all of the projects, bid opportunities that they've been shared with. Here, we can see that same project that I have open on the browser solution, and we can see based on the security role that we've applied to them within the project directory, they would have access to specific information on the project that we've chosen to share with them. You can see here from the vendor side, I have a subcontract. I can input invoices. I can also set up RFIs. Anything with that plus icon means that they can go ahead and add new records on their end from the TeamLink portal, and then that would flow back into Sage Construction Management. You can also view scheduling tasks that have been assigned and track any items that have been shared with them, any updates to drawings, stuff like that. So that'll all kind of be based on the security role that we've applied. Out of the box, there'll be 3 architect, owner, and vendor. But just like our user security roles, those are going to be completely customizable. So if there's anything in here that you wanted to change, any additional information you wanted to share, you can definitely customize those roles. All right, next I just wanted to highlight the drawings log. So within our drawings log here, we'll have a card style view of all of the drawings on the project that we've included. I'm gonna go ahead and just open one up here. The card style view is going to show us all of our most recent revisions, but we will have a revision details tab here that we can view any archived previous drawings. And within the drawing, there will be some annotation features that we can use to make markups, add link files to other records within the system, and link any additional files. This is also going to be accessible from the browser, or excuse me, from the mobile app as well. All right, and with that, I'm going to kind of start with the financials piece. So under the client contract admin, we're going to house all of our records pertaining to our client or our customer, including that prime contract, change proposal, change orders, as well as those customer invoices. Within this overview page, I can view the list of all of those records right from here. There's also reporting features to run reports under each item, as well as an actions button that we can use to add new records in a variety of ways, either manually going through a step-by-step wizard or by pulling over information from other areas such as a work order, estimate proposal, various other items. The contract admin setup wizard will help us set up our first contract on a new project. So there's a couple different ways that we can set up the prime contract, either by converting over estimate information, creating using our master cost code list, or by importing a schedule of values from Excel. Sage Construction Management is going to support 4 contract types, so fixed lump sum, cost plus with and without guaranteed maximum price, as well as unit price. As an example here, I can go ahead and view the approved contract that I have set up on this job. We'll see our scope of work, as well as all of our dates, our date information, retainage, and then under here, we'll see the schedule of values, our cost budgets, labor and equipment hours. We can also view the financial summary, add any link files, and go ahead and email this out from the system. If I wanted to go ahead and email that out, there'll be a couple different formatting options similar to the estimate proposal, as well as the option to include that custom template. And then as an example here, let me just go ahead and pull up a PDF of our contract. So once all that information is inputted, it's going to pull in all of that information into our template, which we can then go ahead and email out for signature. In this example here, I'll have everything broken out by cost code with a place to sign here at the bottom. One thing I wanted to note is we do have a sorting option called our owner codes. So if we wanted to format our schedule of values in a custom formatting, maybe by a grouping of cost codes or maybe a specific format the client is wanting to view that in. We can also set up owner codes where we basically group our schedule of values into custom groupings. So for example, if I pull up that same contract with the different format, we'll see that that schedule of values has been grouped into our custom owner codes that we've set up. So from here, I can set the email, the option to email a PDF. We can also save to the linked files portion. And then down here towards the bottom of the record, you will see that that contract is saved to the link files. I can go ahead and initiate the e-sign process if I wanted to link my DocuSign account and send that out for signature securely using the DocuSign feature. Just wanted to highlight that. And then next, I'm going to come back to the contract admin overview here and just kind of wanted to walk through what it looks like to create a new record. So if I come down here to my invoices, I can select to add manually from the actions button. And all of the records are going to essentially walk us through a step-by-step wizard to go ahead and add all of our information on the contract, invoice, etc. If I tag my prime contract, it's going to pre-fill some information that we've already inputted on the contract. I can set terms, retainage, payment due dates, and then go ahead and hit save and next. We'll have a couple different ways that we can build out invoices, whether it's contract and change order items in separate steps, billing by cost code, or for retainage only. going to go ahead and just select option A in this case. So then we'll come to our schedule of values for the contract, and we'll see that we'll have the option to input the completed work either as a dollar figure or by a percentage of completion. Just going to go ahead and enter in a couple values here to kind of illustrate that it'll update on both sides, whether we enter in that dollar figure or that percentage of completion. Go ahead, add in next here just to kind of move through this a little quickly. Next, we'll have our change orders. Same thing, we'll be able to enter in the completed work as a dollar figure or as percentage complete. I'm going to go ahead and just skip that for now. And then we'll come to our completed invoice. It is set as pending for now, but I can go ahead and preview this information and then email this out. So same thing with the contract from our reports here. I can go ahead and set up this custom format, whether that's by job cost code, by owner code, as I mentioned earlier, and then go ahead and email this out right from the system. Using that default template, again, it's going to pull in all of the information that we've entered, showing our financial summary, which is going to include the new invoice that we've just created with a place to go ahead and sign off for the client. All right. And then next, I'm going to jump back to the project homepage here and over to procurement. So same thing with procurement, we'll have an overview page where I can track all of the various information pertaining to my vendors and subs, purchase orders, bills, subcontracts, change orders, invoices. We'll have reporting tools on each record, as well as the ability to create new records in a variety of ways, either through that step-by-step wizard or by pulling information from other areas. Within the procurement, we'll also have a couple analytical tools, including our purchase order financial information. So either across one or multiple projects, I can view all of my purchase order information in kind of one area where I can export to Excel and share that out. Same thing with our subcontracts. I can track all of my subcontracts across one or multiple projects, easily see all the contract information, including any change orders, invoices, as well as any retainage or balance remaining. Next, we'll also wanted to just show the vendor hub. So within the vendor hub, I will be able to track information pertaining to a specific vendor. So if I wanted to pull up a sample vendor here, let's see here. There we go. So we'll see all of that financial information pertaining to those pending and approved transactions. We can also view any team link roles and license and insurance information, so we can really collaborate and view our information in a variety of ways. All right, and then with that, also wanted to touch on the project analytics. So on the financial piece, we'll have a ton of analytic reporting that's available out of the box. We'll have summary detailed dashboards, as well as analytical reports in kind of more of a spreadsheet style. So as I kind of navigate through these tabs at the top, we'll see we have overview reporting, revenue, costs, vendor, labor, equipment. We also do allow for custom reporting. So if there's anything that's not already available, we can go ahead and create custom reports. If I come just here, I can show a quick example. So we have the projected cost of completion, both in a dashboard as well as an analytic report. And what that'll look like is we'll have a dashboard that'll show that information on a variety of ways, charts, graphs, heat maps, and then also a analytic report that's going to show that in more of a spreadsheet style here. I can easily tab through, view that information for the projected cost of completion using our open commitments and the budget analysis, and then also just go ahead and share this out, export, print off, etc. But there's a ton of reporting features available for the financials piece. So whether that's across multiple projects, multiple prime contracts, there are a lot of different ways that we can keep track of all the financial data on a project. Next, I'm going to just jump back to the project homepage and kind of start going through some of the operations side. So under the correspondence, I'm going to be able to track all of my journals, RFIs, submittals. We'll have a calendar view to view anything upcoming, as well as an open items for our entire team. There's going to be a status summary at the bottom to show anything that's potentially overdue. And also If I go ahead and show or open up here our listed RFIs, I can see here that we have some RFIs. These can be created from the TeamLink portal, as I mentioned. So if we wanted to create an RFI, I can set up the request, the originator as well as the respondent, and then email that out to the TeamLink portal. But those users also will have the ability to request information from the TeamLink portal. And then what that'll kind of look like here is coming back to the TeamLink portal. They would be able to see all of the RFIs that they have been included on, and they can come in, view the information that we've added, the requests, any linked files, and then they can go ahead and input a response within the record, and then that information will flow back and update within the browser solution. Next, going to kind of touch on the documentation. So under documentation, we will have the ability to track daily logs, any job site meetings, work orders, and project photos. Project photos can be taken from the mobile app and directly uploaded into the system. I can add locations, comments, and then track all of that in albums or in a card style view, as you see here. And at this point, I wanted to just take the time to pull up our mobile application here. So within the daily logs feature, I'm just going to kind of run through a daily log, but also wanted to just show the mobile app as an example. So from the mobile app, we'll first come to a home page similar to the browser solution where we will see all of the alerts and any upcoming to-dos. There's also that clock in time entry feature. So if we wanted to have users log time from the field, they can easily access that right from the home page. Same thing whether as a single employee or as a crew, and you can easily tag that project, prime contract, cost code, and then go ahead and log that time. Next, if I tab at the bottom to the projects tab, we'll see all of the various modules that we have within that project homepage is going to be accessible from the mobile app. So these field users can easily jump into that the records and create new. You can see here it goes through all of that operations, any financials, scheduling, etc. But if I wanted to go ahead and add a daily log, I can do so right from the home page. So if I select that plus icon, it'll allow me to select a project. I'll tag the prime contract, have the option to add any notes, and then just hit the check mark at the top. It's going to walk us through basically the step-by-step wizard similar to the browser solution. So at this point, I can go ahead and add any linked files from the device storage or take a photo right from the app. If I go ahead and hit next, we'll come to the various items that we can track on the daily log, including activities, weather and site conditions. The solution is going to know the location of the job and track that temperature and weather information, so I can go ahead and just enter the time, weather conditions, site conditions, and then go ahead and check that off at the top. So I can enter as much or as little detail as I want at this stage from the mobile app. And if I just hit back here, we'll see that that daily log has been created for today's date. And then coming back to the browser solution here, you can just run a quick refresh, and then we'll see that new daily log for today's date should have updated. So from here, I can go into the daily log and add or edit any information that's here. I can also run reports either for today's date, weekly log or monthly log, and then track all of that information if we wanted to go ahead and share that out for the job site progress. Okay, and the next, similar to Correspondence, I'm going to have a calendar view to view anything that's upcoming, as well as any follow-up items or open items across the external or in-house teams. All right, and then next here, coming back to the home page, we'll have the quality control and safety. We'll be able to track a lot of information on this page, including our test inspections, permits. We'll be able to set checklists for the job site, punch lists, and then for the safety side of things, we'll have our safety meetings that we can log, as well as any potential incidents or hazards. All of that information will be tracked within the listed view here, but then we'll see a status summary. I can add new records and run reporting off each one of these features. So for example, here, if I open up our checklists, we'll see that we can add our quality control checklists. These can be added as templates within the template settings. So if there's a specific checklist that you're wanting to use for multiple projects, that can easily be pulled in to a new project here. And then from the mobile app, I can go ahead and view that checklist, and you kind of see as we scroll through, we'll have the various items on the checklist that we've needed to go ahead and review. I can go ahead and tab the item here to go ahead and check that off. I can also drill down onto the item. I can take pictures via the link files. I can also just go ahead and hit edit if I wanted to add any comments, and then all that information is going to update seamlessly within the browser solution. So if I come back here, we can go ahead and just do a quick refresh once more, and we'll see that that item that I just kind of checked off there is going to show as checked, completed, and then any comments or link files are going to be stored within that record. Here we go. All right, and then lastly here with the operations modules, we have our scheduling feature. So within the scheduling module, we'll have the ability to set up project to-dos, general to-dos across multiple projects for our various users within our team. There will be a Kanban style that I can open up to quickly add new tasks depending on the type of tasks that we wanted to assign to our users, and then track all that information in a easy to see Kanban style. And then we'll also have the full construction schedule that we can build out using a Gantt chart. So this will be similar to like a Microsoft projects. You can go ahead and build out the construction schedule. Let me just go ahead and zoom out a little bit. We can go ahead and build out the construction schedule. The schedule is going to be predicated off these tasks, so parent-child tasks, as well as those start and end dates and predecessors. I can import this information from an Excel file as well as from Microsoft projects as well, or just go ahead and build this out within the system. It'll then build out that scheduled Gantt chart, and I'll show any progress that's been completed as well as any potential delays. If I wanted to, I can also assign resources by just clicking off our tasks and then assigning those to either our internal or external team members. I can then email out the assignments or view that information in a resource format where I can see all of the tasks that have been assigned by a team member. So I can go ahead and view that information in a resource view, and all of that information will be accessible for each user in their scheduling module. Same thing with the external team members. So if they had access to the Team Link portal, I can go ahead and view my assigned tasks in a similar Gantt chart format from the Team Link portal. So here we'll have that assigned resource for each vendor. I can also add comments if I wanted to add any potential comments for each task, and then that's going to track back to our browser solution so I can make any changes if needed. Last thing with scheduling, we also do have a multi-project report. So if I wanted to view our active projects side by side, we'll kind of have a similar Gantt chart format where I can compare each active project on the schedule side by side to view that in another way. I can also view the assigned resources across projects here, so we can easily keep track of everything on the job as it completes. All right, and with that, that's going to cover most of what I wanted to talk with the operations side. So lastly, wanted to kind of just make a quick note of that accounting link. Under the accounting link tab here on the main menu, I'm going to just show an example of the link with Sage Intacct, because that's what I have set up with the sample data that I have. But just keep in mind that this is essentially what it will look like in a lot of cases for our linked accounting systems. We'll be able to essentially post records from Sage Construction Management into the accounting system. We can also retrieve that payment information, as I mentioned. Contact management is going to be synced, so I can easily import all of my customers and vendors when I'm setting up, and then sync that information as we go through. Our cost codes will be available to go ahead and import right from the accounting system using that link. And then as we tab through here, we can see all of the projects, estimates, contracts that are ready to be posted, as well as our AP and AR transactions, so purchase orders, subcontracts, change orders, invoices. You can easily track all of those items that are either posted, maybe not yet posted, and any potential discrepancies, and easily view all that information right from the accounting link portion. There will be some preferences, so if we wanted to customize how that information will flow into the accounting system, there are some tools that we can use to change formatting or just kind of note where that information is going to flow. For example, here we can set up what that item will look like once posted into the accounting system. So some customization here just to note. And then coming back to the home page, we can also just run through the wizard, which is going to basically run those through every item that we have available to post, and just kind of walk through step by step to easily just click through all of our items ready to post and then post that through one step-by-step wizard. All right, and with that, that's going to cover most of what I wanted to discuss today. I know that was probably a lot of information in a really quick view, but just wanted to thank everybody for your time. And at this point, wanted to go ahead and open it up for any questions that we may have.
Thank you, Alex. There was one question I was able to answer in the chat, and I'm not sure if your demo data allows for it or not, but we did have a question regarding the submittal flow process and what that would look like for a sub in the TeamLink portal. I don't know if you're able to show that today or if we should schedule a one-on-one presentation for that.
I might be able to go ahead and show that.
And I did post in the questions section for anybody following this. I'll post it just in the chat for everybody to read how to reach out for a personalized one-on-one demo if you want to go through this in more detail. But if you're able to show it, that would be great, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably just kind of illustrate what that flow would look like. Essentially, if you wanted to add records from the TeamLink portal, it's going to kind of walk us through the step-by-step wizard again from their end. So if I wanted to go ahead and, add in our submittal information, I'm just going to kind of enter in a value here, and then essentially it will allow us to go ahead and enter in all of that information that we're wanting to submit. I don't necessarily have any samples ready to go at this point, but we'd enter in our description, quantities, item numbers, and then just hit save and next, and then that's going to send it submittal directly to our browser solution. So whoever's tagged as the contact on this specific project would be notified that a submittal's been entered, and they could go ahead and then review that information. So I know that probably isn't a great example, but I don't necessarily have a sample ready here.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the questions came in, when would this be available? For Sage 300 CRE or Sage 100 contractor, 2 questions at once. That's slated for this summer, I believe. Is that correct from what you've heard, Alex?
Yeah, so right now the development team, as I mentioned, is currently working on the integrations, and the goal at this point is going to be late May. So we're hoping to have full integration out in kind of the last couple weeks of May. So that's coming up here pretty quick. I'm hoping that as we get through the development that we might be able to release the work as it's completed in stages, but that's not a guarantee. So at this point, we're holding out for that late May timeframe.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other ones I'll be able to pick up in, I should be able to pick up in the live presentations. One of them, just the question that came in regarding pricing. We tend not to get into pricing, but it is based on user. It is not based on revenue or project size or contract amount. It is user-based pricing on that. That question came in a number of formats. So again, if you could reach out to the sales@ethosystems.com email address, someone will walk through not just a presentation, but also the pricing and what it looks like for implementation and training. But with that, Alex, I'm going to take these questions and answer these in a reply email and a follow-up, because there are a handful that require a more in-depth reply than what I can supply in the chat today. but I appreciate all of your time today and effort, and that was a wonderful presentation.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and hope you have a great rest of the day.
All right, take care, everybody. Thank you.